Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at a really practical skill,
Oh, yeah. What's that?
navigating the whole restaurant experience when English isn't, your native language.
Ah, okay. That can definitely be nerve-wracking for people.
Totally. And we've got this fantastic resource to work with. It's actually a super detailed script from a YouTube video, like 10,000 words long.
Wow, 10,000 words just on ordering food.
Yep, specifically designed to help English language learners really master it.
Okay, so it must go pretty deep then, not just the basics.
Exactly. It covers, well, pretty much everything. Making a reservation, reading the menu, ordering, paying the bill, the whole 9 yards.
And it probably includes useful words and phrases, too.
Loads of vocabulary, yeah. Plus common mistakes to avoid and even some cultural bits and pieces.
Right, those cultural nuances can be really important.
Definitely. So our mission today is basically to dig into all that material and pull out the most valuable stuff.
The key insights, the practical advice.
Exactly. To help you, our listener, feel, well, more confident next time you're dining out somewhere English speaking.
Makes sense. Because I think we can all relate to that initial, nervousness, can't we, when you have to order in another language.
Oh, absolutely. And the script actually kicks off by talking about those common worries.
Like what?
Will I understand the waiter? How do I ask them to change something on the menu? Am I saying this word right?
Yeah, those are definitely top concerns. Been there.
So to help with that, the script features a full restaurant conversation.
Oh, it's a role play.
Sort of, yeah. Played at natural speed. It covers all the key moments,
But-
making the reservation, actually ordering the food, handling dietary needs.
Ah, like allergies or preferences?
Exactly. The example they use is specifically asking, is this dish vegetarian? Which is a really common one.
And paying, I assume.
And paying, yep, covers the whole interaction.
Okay, that sounds useful.
Yeah.
But just listening might not be enough sometimes.
Right. And that's the really valuable part. The script then breaks down that entire conversation, like phrase by phrase, slowly.
Ah, okay, so it analyzes it.
Yeah. For example, the waiter might ask, how would you like your steak done?
A classic restaurant question.
Totally. And the script doesn't just translate it. It explains the meaning, gives you the phonetic breakdown. Hey, what it? Joe Cook, just steak, dien.
Oh, phonetics too. That's helpful for pronunciation.
Very. And then it gives you alternatives you might hear. Like in the UK, they might say, would you like it pink or fully cooked?
Right, different phrasing depending on where you are.
Exactly. And it also gives you a typical customer response, like, can I get that medium rare, please?
Okay, so it really dissects the language in context. That sounds incredibly practical.
It really is. It helps you understand not just the words, but how to actually, use them appropriately.
Bridges that gap between passive understanding and active speaking.
You got it. And moving beyond the flow of conversation, there's also a big focus on just, well, vocabulary.
The words you actually need to know.
Yep. Terms you'll see on menus, terms for how food is cooked, all that stuff.
And it's organized, I guess.
Yeah, really logically. Like there's a section on menu terms.
Okay, like appetizer.
Exactly.
Right.
Appetizer or starter. And it points out those US-UK differences again.
Ah, right, like main course in the UK.
Versus entree, often in the US.
Yeah.
And bill versus check.
Good ones to know to avoid confusion.
Definitely.
Then there's cooking styles.
So grilled, fried.
Steamed, yep. And also understanding spice level, asking for mild, medium, or hot.
Crucial if you're sensitive to spice. Or if you love it.
Right. You'd be really specific.
What else? Utensils.
Utensils, too. Basic, but important, like napkin in the US, but sometimes serviette in the UK.
Another UKist thing.
And obviously chopsticks, fork, knife.
The basics. And the original video apparently uses visual flashcards for these.
Yeah, which is great for memory, right? Helps you visualize the words.
Definitely. Okay, so we've got the conversation flow, the vocabulary. What about mistakes? Does it cover common errors? It does, yeah. There's a whole section on that, framed around politeness and clarity. Things to avoid.
Okay, this is important. What kind of examples?
Well, instead of just saying, I want pizza, which can sound a bit blunt.
Right. A bit demanding, maybe?
Yeah. The script suggests, could I get the pizza, please? Much more polite.
Makes sense. Any others?
Instead of give me bill.
Also quite direct.
Very. Better to say, can we have the check, please? Or bill in the UK, of course.
Okay, politeness is key.
And clarity, too. Like, instead of just no spicy.
Which might be unclear. Like, none at all, or just less.
Exactly. The script suggests, could you make it mild? It's just clearer for the kitchen staff.
Got it. So, small wording changes, big impact on politeness and how well you're understood.
Precisely. It smooths out the interaction.
And beyond the words themselves, you mentioned cultural insights.
Yeah, that's another layer the script adds. Little tips about dining customs in different places.
Which can really help you feel more comfortable, less like you're going to make a faux pas.
Totally. Like, it specifically highlights the tipping culture in the U.S.
Ah, yes, the 15–20% expectation. That's a big one for visitors.
Huge. Definitely good to know beforehand.
What else? Any UK tips?
It mentions that when asking for a table, saying table for two is generally more common than a table for a couple.
Interesting. A small detail, but good to know the local preference.
And it even touches on India, explaining what thali means, that platter with a full meal.
That's useful context if you're trying Indian food.
Yeah. And also that takeaway food is often called parcel there.
Parcel? Okay, wouldn't have guessed that.
Me neither. And apparently the video uses map graphics to show these regional differences.
Visual aids again? Sounds like a well-thought-out resource.
It really does seem comprehensive. So, all right, just to kind of wrap up our look at this script.
We've covered quite a bit: the conversation flow, the vocabulary, avoiding mistakes, cultural tips.
Yeah, essentially pulling out the practical tools you can use. The polite phrases, the key terms, that awareness of different customs.
Hopefully making the whole idea of eating out in English feel a bit less daunting.
Exactly. And, inspired by the original video's homework challenge, here's something for you, the listener, to think about.
Okay.
Next time you go out to eat, even if it's not in an English-speaking place necessarily, just think about how you would handle it in English.
Like mentally rehearse it.
Yeah. Or if you are learning, maybe just try ordering one small thing a drink, maybe using some of these English phrases, just a little step.
That's a great practical challenge. Low stakes, high reward potential for confidence.
For sure. And look, if anything we've talked about today has piqued your interest,
And you want the full experience with the visuals and role plays.
then definitely search for that original YouTube video. The title mentioned in the source is Ordering Food in English at a Restaurant I See Practical Conversation Practice plus Vocabulary.
Sounds like it would be well worth watching for anyone wanting to boost their confidence in